Good morning, Little Masters, and welcome back to today's Tolkien Times. I'm the Man of the West, also from the Prancing Pony podcast. Let's go ahead and get week 37 of today's Tolkien Times underway with Mailbag Monday. Sir Peter J. writes in from New Zealand saying, "Don't tell anyone, but I'm working on a 12-part film adaptation of Tolkien's The Silmarillion. I've been listening to your Prancing Pony podcast season 1 and thought I'd ask if you'd like to be a lore consultant on the project." Well, Sir Peter, I'm pretty busy these days. I'm not sure I'll have time. Wait a second. It's April 1st today, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Let's try this again. Kirk P. writes in, asking, why didn't Saruman take, or try to take, or even mention Narya when he had Gandalf imprisoned in Orthanc? Now, that's an interesting question, Kirk, and it's one that doesn't really have a totally clear answer. I think some would say it's because Saruman didn't know that he had it, but that's actually dispelled in Unfinished Tales, the chapter on the Astari. After Saruman arrives in Middle-earth, we read, "Others there were also, 2 clad in sea blue and 1 in earthen brown. And last came one who seemed the least, less tall than the others, and in looks more aged, gray-haired and gray-clad, and leaning on a staff. But Círdan from their first meeting at the Grey Havens divined in him the greatest spirit and the wisest, and he welcomed him with reverence, and he gave to his keeping the 3rd ring, Narya the Red. For, said he, great labors and perils lie before you, and lest your task prove too great and wearisome, take this ring for your aid and comfort. It was entrusted to me only to keep secret, and here upon the west shores it is idle. But I deem that in days ere long to come, it should be in nobler hands than mine, that may wield it for the kindling of all hearts to courage." And the grey messenger took the ring and kept it ever secret. Yet the white messenger, who was skilled to uncover all secrets, after a time became aware of this gift, and begrudged it, and it was the beginning of the hidden ill will that he bore to the grey, which afterwards became manifest. But you can't take what you can't see, and we do know that the keepers of the 3 can somehow conceal their rings. In Galadriel's case, after Frodo sees her ring, Nenya, the ring of adamant, we read, "Yet even so, as ring-bearer, and as one that has borne it on finger and seen that which is hidden, your sight is grown keener. You have perceived my thought more clearly than many that are accounted wise. You saw the eye of him that holds the 7 and the 9. And did you not see and recognize the ring upon my finger?" "Did you see my ring?" she asked, turning again to Sam. "No, lady," he answered. "To tell you the truth, I wondered what you were talking about. I saw a star through your finger." So maybe Saruman just couldn't see it on Gandalf? I mean, I think that's true, but I don't really think that's the full answer. So let's think this through. Saruman fancies himself an up-and-coming power. He wants the One Ring so that he can challenge Sauron and become the new Dark Lord. When Gandalf is retelling his story at the Council of Elrond, he says that after he rode to the foot of Orthanc, he came to the stair of Saruman, and there he met me and led me up to his high chamber. He wore a ring on his finger. And that's not all. Once it's become clear that Saruman has brought Gandalf here to trap him, Saruman says, "And here you will stay, Gandalf the Grey, and rest from journeys. For I am Saruman the Wise, Saruman Ringmaker, Saruman of many colors." You see, he is his own ringmaker now. He either wants to make his own ring of power or capture the One. Narya is, in a way, beneath him. It doesn't fit his goals or his objectives. In fact, we know that's the case. Narya would basically be useless for what Saruman wants to do. He wants power. Think about what Treebeard says about Saruman. "I think that I now understand what he is up to. He is plotting to become a power. He has a mind of metal and wheels, and he does not care for growing things, except as far as they serve him for the moment." But here's the question. Would Narya help him become a power? No. It's like what Círdan said when he gave Narya to Gandalf when he arrived, and this is just from a different version of that story. Take now this ring, for thy labors and thy cares will be heavy, but in all it will support thee and defend thee from weariness. For this is the ring of fire, and herewith, maybe, thou shalt rekindle hearts to the valor of old in a world that grows chill. What does Saruman care about rekindling hearts in a world that grows chill or even defending from weariness? He wants a ring that he can use to dominate others. Now, there's also the distinct possibility that as Saruman has been in communication with Sauron, that he's under orders of some kind not to take any of the three, even if he should encounter them. I don't want to put that out of the realm of possibility. Now, while all these things are true, I still think there might be a good bit more to it. You see, Saruman didn't take anything from Gandalf. He just put him on the pinnacle of Orthanc with the intention of waiting him out until he changed his mind. He didn't take Gandalf's staff. He didn't take his sword, Glamdring. He didn't even take Gandalf's pipe, let alone Narya. And I think there are a couple of reasons why Saruman didn't take anything from Gandalf. First, I think that deep down he still hoped to persuade Gandalf, even if it took a couple of weeks on the cold Orthanc balcony to bring him to his senses. But more importantly, I think Saruman suspected, or maybe even knew, that he couldn't take anything from Gandalf. Not without great risk to himself, at the very least, given their equal powers, and Saruman was not about high risk. That is, Saruman knew that even though he was the head of the Order, he didn't have the authority or the ability to take anything from Gandalf. And this is different from when Gandalf absolutely has the authority as Gandalf the White to cast Saruman from the Order and break his staff. Remember, that's the new and improved Gandalf 2.0 sent direct from Iluvatar himself. But now, at this time, Gandalf's power isn't insignificant, and Saruman has never been the type to pick a fair fight. And at the end of the day, I think that's the biggest reason why. But the others are also part of the equation, or at least they could be. Well, folks, that wraps it up for Mailbag Monday. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, please email it to barliman@theprancingponypodcast.com. Let him know it's for today's Tolkien Times, and I'll get to it as soon as I can, with priority going to supporters of the show on Patreon. Now, if you'd like to help me keep making this show better, please visit patreon.com/Tolkien Times to find out how you can join the TTT Content Council, get a bonus episode every week, and more. Join me again tomorrow on today's Tolkien Times for Tolkien Tuesday as we learn more about the professor himself. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and please follow or subscribe if you're listening on a podcast app. And everybody please follow @Tolkien Times on social media. Finally, as Faramir says, go with the goodwill of all good men.